Now then, we're carried on doing some printing, but we're going to take it a little bit step further than we did before. If you want to use felt tip pens with some of the techniques we're using, then that's fine. You go right ahead and do that. Again, everything we do, if you think, oh, I want to try that, try it. Just have a go. Sometimes I just forget to tell you things, and you might think, oh, why didn't Wayne say this? You just try it, give it a go. That's what this is all about, experimenting and just seeing what you can do. So we're going to go to this camera, and as you can see, there's a few different things here. So this, I'll get my glasses on. This is the last bit we're going to show you. This is a little bit more complicated, so I'll just put that out of the way for now. But what we're going to be using is these things, which are ink pads. Now, some of you might have them, but like I said, you can still use your felt tip pens, or if you've got some acrylic paint or poster paint, you could use that. Put something in a little dish, but don't make it too thick, nice and thin, and use it in exactly the same way you would use a ink pad. Now these are bought rubber stamps, and as you can see, there we go. Yeah, it just comes out like that. I always like to try and clean off my rubber stamps as much as I can after I've used them each time, and they're very good. So I'll show you that one. That's one of my favourite ones. There we go, just a pair of feet. I think that's really cool, is that one. Okay, but these things are quite expensive really, so I'll just put them out of the way. Now the ink pad, this is obviously a black one, but we can get lots of different colours. Now, this is what we used last time, so we're going to use something like that this time. And what I'm going to show you is we need something that we can actually stick it to. So I'm going to use an empty glue stick. So I'll just take the lid off it just for now, and I'll put that on there, and I'll just draw around it. Now this is a really good thing. It's a pen that stopped working for some reason, but it works really well with this this polystyrene stuff. So I'm going to cut that out like that. There we go. Now that will fit on there. So let's make a little design, and we don't have to go really complicated to start with. I've got one here, look, which is just a triangle. So on this one, I'm going to make a square. So I'll just draw that on. We'll draw that way, and I'm just going to draw that way, and then that one that way. It's not exactly a square, but it's close enough. And I'll cut that out. There we go, this is where we make it a square. There we are, nice square. I'll get rid of all my bits of rubbish to one side. I'll keep that bit. And I'm going to use a little piece of double-sided tape. Now if you haven't got double-sided tape, or you've got ordinary sellotape, just get a little piece and fold it round. Or if you've got blue tack or white tack or any other tacks, you could use a little piece of that, because this isn't for a permanent thing, this is just to And then we go back to our glue stick, our empty glue stick, put that on the lid like this. So we'll stick it back on there and we'll put it on the pad. You see, all linked up. There we are. And a triangle. Look at that. So let's get a big piece of paper. That's just a little test piece of card I've got. Let's get a piece of paper and see what we can come up with. So, okay, now can you see, look, I've actually got ink around there. So you just get a tissue and you can just wipe that off, and then you won't end up with that on your oh, can you see the edges sticking out over the edge? Yeah. So if I ink that up, can you see straight away, just inking it up, we've got a lot of ink there because I had to push it into the side, but we've hardly got any there. Okay, which is why if you're going to have a big shape like this, you need a bigger thing to go underneath it. So when I print this, I'm going to print it there. The edges don't have a nice sharp edge like that. Look. They're all roundy. They're not as but I don't think that matters so much with this. It's kind of nice that he's got all this. So that's just using basic shapes to make things. As you can see, that was just a funny little face and stuff. But you could make trees, you could make plants, you could make anything that you can use lots of little things for. Do you remember the Dara robot and the Dara monster? You could do that with these. You could cut out little shapes and then print each little piece of the monster or robot. That's a really good idea with these. I'm going to use one of those. I'm going to stick that on there and use that as my printer, just so I've got a bigger piece. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to do one of these that we did last time, but I don't have anything big enough to actually stick that to. So what we can do, I'll get my small scissors this time and cut that out. So as you can see, you can make really quite complicated designs. Now what you could do as well is just cut thin little strips and make up a design out of thin little strips. So you've just got to remember that it's always got to be, let's go to this camera, it's always got to be the same thickness. So if you had something that was like that and then something laid over the top, it's only that bit there that's going to print. That's the main thing. So it's always got to be on the same level. Now I'm using the little block that's that the inks come in, and I've been using those as things to help. But say for instance you thought, oh, I'll use that. You can't really use that because that's not flat, because that's higher up. Can you see? You've always got to use things that are completely flat. So we're going to take this a step further. An eraser, and you can use special tools. Now this is a cork, and you can actually carve into a cork, but the problem with that is sometimes they're not exactly flat. What corks are very, very, very good for is if you've got a very sharp knife. Now this is a scalpel. If you slot your really sharp knife into there, you're not going to hurt yourself with it. Now these things are lino cutting tools, and you get a handle, and then all of these are the blades. So there's the handle, so you hold it like this, and these are the blades. Now this is the sharp part, and that goes into there. Where is it? That goes into there, and then you dig like this. That's how you cut with those. And sometimes you can't pull them out, which is what this is for. That goes in there, goes into that little hole, and you pull it, pulls it out. So you can get some really fine. There we go. And that's just like a craft knife one. So that's just for cutting. Now obviously if you're using sharp knives, please, 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 please be very, very careful. We don't want any accidents. Okay, now I've made a mistake there, but I'm actually glad I have, so I can show you. I put a pencil mark on it. I accidentally made a little gouge, so we can't use that side unless we cut that bit off completely. But we can use that side, so that's something you've always got to be careful of. You've got to try and use the smoothest side possible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like we did before. Where is he? I'm just going to make a little man like this. There he is. I think that last one was the best one I did. So let's keep that there. That's what I used. I'll get the yellow pen out. In fact, I'll give him a... There we are. Where's my pencil? Okay, so we do want a little bit more off there, look. So let's just clean that off a little bit so I don't get it all over my hands. And I think the best way to do that is with the knife. So it looks better with a little mouth, I think. So if you can't see that, I'll bring that a little bit closer to the camera. Where's my pencil? So as you can see, look, that's the last one where I cut an extra little piece of mouth. I use the shadow to point with, that's a good idea. And then that one I drew a mouth in. So you can decide which ones you like out of that. So I know this is a little bit more advanced than we would normally do, but I have been asked to do some things that are a lot more simpler, which was the last video, and then some things that are a lot more advanced, which is this video. So I hope you liked it, and yeah, just keep on experimenting.